Alright, Metallic at 95 back again. Okay. Um, yeah, let's go and resume this game and let's hit the speed up. Um, let's see. Pretty little things falling on our ship, getting loaded up. Let's see what we have next. Fuel up, head out, make money. Since we actually won this section, this is just a matter of getting more money. I'm not positive how it works for the next part of the campaign because I haven't actually started it yet. I think that the money may carry over. I can always hope anyway. So 2 to New York, 1 to long trips over there. I think we will skip that. Maybe that's a high penalty. I won't want to take that one. We'll talk about ship upgrades and some of the other features of the game as you get more into it. We'll talk about sabotage. Sabotage is actually economic dirty tricks. It's not what you get to do. There are 3 different sabotage choices. First one, freeze the rival's account. Their bank account becomes unusable. They cannot spend money. Automatic payments on tugs, on refueling. I'm trying to remember what was automatic. Yeah, tug fees are paid automatically. Docking fees, things like that. But you can't buy new ships. You can't upgrade. You can't repair. You can't buy fuel. So it basically does inhibit your operations quite a bit. It's essentially like getting a court injunction to stop you from running your company normally for a few days. It's not actually a really bad sabotage if your ships are well maintained and fueled. If you have ships that are in poor condition that need repair, you may be forced to basically sit them idly because you can't repair them. If your ship is out of fuel and you can't make it to a new destination without fuel, you're again stuck basically saying, hey, my ship can't do nothing. But otherwise, it's a detriment, and it does have one particular use which requires careful timing. I can go to Houston as well. Anyway, if you realize that an opponent is leading you on RP and will get control of a region, and you freeze their bank account, they cannot buy the subsidiary in that region because the bank account is frozen. And this only really will do you any good if you are close enough to catch up to them. Otherwise, the bank account will get unfrozen. They're still going to continue dominating the region, and will be able to take control of it before you do. But the potential is there to mess up your opponent in that way. Second sabotage is taking control of competing subsidiaries temporarily. They still own them. You can't actually keep them permanently. But taking the money from them, here we're going to have an interesting choice. If I don't go there, I'll pay a penalty, but this one pays a whole lot. I'm just going to make a whole lot of money just because, right, not going to think about it. This is especially useful for the service subsidiaries that do repairs and tugboats. But let's say that you want to buy a ship at a wharf that's owned by your competitor, and you don't want to pay them the share of the purchase price. Sabotage their subsidiary, take control of it for a short while, buy your ships there, and don't pay them any money because you've taken temporary control of the business. So that is cool. Now the third one gets into one of the aspects of cargoes that I haven't talked about. And that's the contraband scanner. Contraband. Your ships can carry cargoes that are not available in this mission that are colored red. These are not legal to carry. They pay very well though. So you have this basic choice between, do you want to be a clean, legal operator, or are you willing to go and take some chances in order to make extra money? Now, there's not a huge chance that the custom inspectors are going to show up on your ship and check out for your illegal cargo. So you say, oh, I'll take a chance. But there are two things that can get in the way of that. Your competitor one of the sabotages is a customs inspection. You basically tip off the custom authorities that your competitor is running cargo they shouldn't be. It doesn't matter whether they actually are or not. The ship will be detained temporarily. This can cause them to run late on contracts and be penalized. But if they actually are running anything illegal, the custom authorities charge you a lot of money. First, they take away the wonderful cargo you're going to get paid. You don't get any money for it at all. And they will fine you. And the fine can be considerable. It can be not only more than the cost of the money that you would have made from the cargo, it can be more than the cost of your ship. So it is a very bad thing to be caught transmitting contraband. Now where this relates to is that one of the upgrades you can put on a ship is the contraband scanner. This I basically figured not as an actual detection device, but as contacts with your crew making contact with different people in the business to find out who's running illegal cargo. And with that, you can basically know which competing ships might be running illegal cargo and have a better chance to make, I didn't make much money there, which one's the tip off. Now, sabotage has limits. One of the things is that you can only sabotage a given opponent once every 15 days. Once they're sabotaged, some of the sabotages last for the entire duration before they expire. Other ones only last for a short time. Like, say, the customs thing, goes off. You can only sabotage them once every 15 days, so you cannot be constantly using your, wealth to mess with your opponent. You have to use it strategically. Find a point where it's worthwhile to do it. But it definitely gives you an advantage when you have plenty of money and they do not. Now, relating to the contraband scanner is the fact that ships only have so many places to go and do upgrades. Contraband scanner uses the same upgrade slot as the Panama Canal passage upgrade for size class 3 and 4 ships. For the most part, going through the Panama Canal is more valuable than having a thing to detect contraband cargo, and the contraband scanner works on any size ship, so why not buy it on the littlest, cheapest ships and save your space on the big ones for when they need it. For the Panama Canal upgrade, or doing none at all, because the cost of the upgrade is also reflected by the size of the ship and the cost of the ship. And that's one of the things that I'll mention is that while I say class of ships, there's more than one type of ship in each class when you're shopping for ships, and they vary in size and features. And so sometimes you might want more little ships, the small sizes, because you can serve more ports. Our ship is kind of small. It's 800. Some of the ships in size class can have, I think, 1400-ish TEU, and they range in speed, tonnage weight, fuel efficiency. I can't go into all the details, but basically you have a lot of different little features on what ships back to the new one. I should go and visit the West Coast before the game ends. Trying to go and get the game to progress. Where are we on our time? 13 days. So I'm almost to the end point of the game. As you expand your company, you have a lot of different options. In the competitive game, one thing I'll mention is that Just as we had the goal of trying to get a lot of deliveries to complete a lot of on-time deliveries, the competition game has a lot of different challenges for victory points. Some of them may reward you by making more trips. Other ones may reward you for getting more good high quality ships. May reward you for running more of certain types of cargoes. May just reward you for making lots of money. Each of these different competing factors for victory points, can change how you end up playing the game. Which is your optimal choice, to advance your company and win the game. So it's not just about making the most of money.
Ends in 10 days.
Yep, 10 days to go, which is good. And that's part of what makes the game interesting, is the fact that you have a wide range of choices. I mean, when we're buying ships, do you buy?
The chapter ends in 3 days.
Oh yes, you've kept right up with our new rival in terms of contracts and bonuses. And we're also one step closer to raising Hiram's bail. Hang in there, little brother.
Ta-da!
You won the gold medal.
All right. We meant to let our time zip along quite quickly and got to the end. We got ourselves a gold medal. We are ready to continue on with the campaign. I am not going to do that because at this point this would be a good point to take a break. Oh, I gotta let the time advance for the last bit. Let's go and okay, at this point, that'll wrap up the whole situation. We won the first part of the campaign, and we're going to be ready to continue on to the next step in our objectives. And so I'll go back to the main menu so we can go and see back to the main menu. I'm going to take a little talk through the glossary briefly. Types of ships. You can read all these things, but this here gets you into your ship buying. I'll discuss this a little bit before we continue on. Bulk ships are very good to buy early on because the bulk cargo, you get you more region points, and more region points lets you buy subsidiaries and get control of a region, which helps you make run your ships more efficiently. Container ships, while it says no advantages and disadvantages, their cargo are midpoint in price range, which means you actually make a fairly good amount of money as well as making decent region points with them. So your RP collection is actually fairly good, and most important, container ships and bulk ships don't use the same cargoes, so you can run different port routes and in the same area and not have your ships basically be competing for the same trips. Tankers, most expensive ships to buy. They're about twice as expensive as bulk ships, for the same category of cargo, same size, roughly. They get more money. One of the big differences is that the bonus cargoes pay 50% more than typical cargoes, but for tankers they pay 100% more. So you make a whole lot more money, less RP, but you can carry a lot of cargo on one of these things, so you actually end up making a decent amount with them. If you actually want to dominate RP, bulk ships are the best. Container ships are your midpoint ship, which are best for doing both, and tankers both best for money. Brief little look at your size point ships. You can upgrades. There's bonuses for taking control of each region. I'm not going to go into them, but basically, when you're in the competitive game, we get to go and get extra benefits by being controlling a region above the fact of having the businesses. Get your victory points, you can advance, and you can take your victory points back when your account slips into the red. Penalties can be incurred, which will reduce your victory points. In the red, yeah, I didn't discuss that point. We couldn't hit a negative negative income, negative bank balance in your first part of the mission, but in the main game you can. When your account goes negative, your company is in danger of going bankrupt. If you cannot bring your account balance back up positive within 15 game days, your company goes bankrupt and it's game over. It's possible to do that if you play disastrously. I did my second endless game. I was careless with my first ship. In the first TransOcean game, on the easiest level, your ship would not sink when it was in bad condition. Just I'll say in TransOcean 2 that is not true. If your ship gets in the condition state where the condition bar shows red, your ship is in danger of sinking while at sea. My ship went down and I basically said, well, this game is over basically, because even though I had money in the bank to buy another ship, losing that first ship meant that I had no chance to catch up competitively. You do want to avoid having your ship sink. It is not good for your company's bank balance or your reputation. If you didn't have enough money in the bank, you might not be able to recover and get back into the game. In a competitive game, getting behind makes it very hard to catch up on. Now, in terms of playing time, I mean, we've spent over an hour playing just this first segment. I did spend time pausing and talking, but while you're playing, you'd also spend time pausing and looking at the situation and thinking about it more. Whereas in my case, I spent the time, talking about what was going on because I played the game a bit and have an idea of what I want to do for optimum play. There are an awful lot of choices in this game, and that's part of what makes it entertaining. You're constantly having ships come into port, making new decisions. The game does offer an automation feature where you can string together 4 different port stops. It's not like a complete automatic, AI manager running your ship and helping you handle the company. You still have to make some of the decisions for where the ship's going to. You have to decide where the ship's going to go and make sure it has enough fuel. But the ship will pick up cargoes for the destinations if you haven't already selected them. And this can help manage a larger fleet as you get into some of the game play where you have larger fleets to deal with, and you basically know what the ships are going to be doing. On the other hand, one of the joys of this game is when you're traveling into a port and you see one of those really high-paying contracts, you say, oh, that would be a really good one to take. Should I do that one? And especially if it's one of those red contraband deals, you say, ooh, if I do that, I'll make a whole lot of money. That would be worth it. Sometimes those even have high RP bonuses as well, because you've served the right kind of customers. But of course, if you get caught, you're basically in a really bad shape. One of the ways that you can kill your company is being caught for a high fine contraband when you don't have a high bank balance. You may not be able to recover from that point. For the most part, this is a fairly easy game to play as terms of continuing to play. Your company will survive. It may have ups and downs. Advancing quickly and making a huge amount of money does take some skill. On the multiplayer side, I'd say there are players out there who are very skilled at the game, and it may take a while before you're up to competing with them. On the other hand, the game is fun to play in any case. There's something fascinating about being a shipping company magnate, watching your ships go to ports, making decisions about what ship to buy, how to optimize your running of the company, when to lay up the ship for repairs versus when to go and upgrade it, what cargoes to carry, and which regions to try and go for when you're competing with a rival. I mean, basically, do you go ahead and try and poach on their territory that they're in by running your ships into their region and trying to see if you can gain control before they do? Or do you try and dominate your own region? And of course, the AI being AI can do whatever it wants. They may come into your region and try and get in your way, in which case you're going to have to focus your efforts to go and beat them. All in all, there's a lot of challenges in the game, and I think it's worth playing. It's not a terribly expensive game, which is a bonus. If people want to go and check out for games on cheap, though, you can check out g2a.com and look at what you have for options there. In any case, for everyone, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed watching this. You can learn more about playing this game. Check it out on Steam. And that's about it. Thank you very much.